Hello, my name is Dr. Cork and today I'm making popular coffee cocktails that you can mix at home. What exactly is coffee? Who invented it? What types of coffee are there? Who gives a shit? We're not making coffee here, we're making cocktails with coffee, so let's start with the Espresso Martini. The Espresso Martini was created in the 1980s by London bartender Dick Bratzel at Soho Brasserie after a certain model asked for a drink that would wake me up and f me up. The drink was originally called vodka espresso and consisted of vodka, espresso and simple syrup. It was served in a rocks glass on ice. Over time, Bratzel refined the recipe and added coffee liqueur and served it in a stemmed glass. By the late 1990s, it had become known as the Espresso Martini. For a brief time, incidentally, he renamed it pharmaceutical stimulant, but the name, as you might guess, didn't catch on. The original formula is 2 ounces vodka, 1.5 ounce coffee liqueur, usually Kahlua, 1 ounce espresso and 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. It's fine and all, but given there are numerous variations, it seems almost too basic. You can find people adding different spirits, liqueurs, syrups, or even parmesan for some reason. And I'll make an Italian variation, so Italian Espresso Martini it is. Nicholas Bowden of Taverona Italian Kitchen in Kansas City created a unique twist on the Espresso Martini by omitting vodka and focusing on espresso, Amaro Averna, and Kahlua. This bittersweet botanical drink is a perfect digestive to complement Italian cuisine. The cocktail is shaken, and to the shaker I'm gonna add Amaro, which is bitter Italian liqueur, 1.5 ounce 45 ml. Coffee liqueur, Kahlua or other, 1/2 ounce 15 ml. And 1 cooled down espresso from the best Italian coffee shop. 1 ounce 30 ml. Fill the shaker with ice and shake it vigorously, dedicating the shake to this comment. And fine strain to the chilled Nicanor glass. And garnish with 3 coffee beans, symbolizing health, happiness, and prosperity. Let's try it. Ooh, it's more bitter, but it is in balance. I like all the additional flavors because, just as I said, the Espresso Martini in its original form, it's a little bit too basic. This one is like Amaro in a glass with a little bit of foam. It doesn't taste too much of coffee, and I like it. Everything in there is a little bit bitter. Amaro is bitter, coffee coffee liqueur is also a little bit bitter, but the sweetness balances it out, so I like it. I recommend it. The Irish coffee origins are often credited to Joe Sheridan in Ireland in the 1940s, who humorously called it Irish coffee when asked if it was Brazilian. The drink gained fame in the US thanks to Stanton Delaplane, a columnist who popularized it after tasting it in Ireland and recreating it in San Francisco's Buena Vista Cafe, where it remains a staple to this day. Bartending expert Dale DeGroff emphasizes the importance of balance. Use a small glass, 6 to 8 ounces, a modest shot of whiskey, maximum 1.5 ounces, and lightly whipped cream to create the signature layered look. Optional garnishes like cinnamon or nutmeg add a fragrant touch, but are optional. Take an Irish coffee mug and put a little bit whiskey in it. You can use Irish whiskey, it's the obvious choice, but you can also use something like mild scotch or bourbon, not a problem. 1.5 ounce 45 ml max. 1 teaspoon of dark muscovado sugar and 1 teaspoon of regular sugar. Or you can use something like 2 teaspoons of demerara sugar. Stir a little. Now take your hot, freshly brewed coffee and fill the glass. Stir until sugar is dissolved. Now take cream, lightly whip it, and layer it on top. A little bit of grated cinnamon, and taste it. It is good. It's pretty basic. It's no surprise because it's one of the most popular cocktails with coffee in the world. But if you don't add too much whiskey and you add enough sugar, a pretty pleasant cocktail for winter or some other cold times. And you can play with different types of whiskeys and different types of coffees to get interesting results. White Russian. I know that I've made it a billion times, I have a whole video about the variations on the White Russian, but it's a good cocktail and it's a popular coffee cocktail, so here it is. It emerged in the 1960s when cream was added to the Black Russian, giving it its white appearance. But despite their names, neither drink has Russian roots. The Black Russian is believed to have been invented in Belgium, reportedly crafted for a US ambassador to Luxembourg. And here it is, but with a twist. It's built directly in a rocks glass, to which I'm gonna add coffee vodka. Just take 30 grams of coffee beans, about half a liter of vodka, and a hot night on the heater. 1 ounce, 30 ml. By the way, if you try it neat, it tastes worse than regular vodka, because you expect something like a coffee, like maybe Kahlua, but it's not, it's just vodka with coffee flavor. Coffee liqueur, 1 ounce, 30 ml. And 20% cream, also 1 ounce, 30 ml. Am I forgetting something? Oh yes, ice. Stir it thoroughly. And don't garnish, because why? Let's try this double coffee White Russian. It's very good, it's better than the regular White Russian, I'd say. Because there are two types of coffee flavors. It's richer that way. I'd call it tanned Russian. It has all the same characteristics as a regular White Russian, but just a little bit better. I don't know what to say about it. If you tried one of these, you know what I'm talking about. In some ways, it's the best cocktail in the world, because you can drink it instead of morning coffee. But you shouldn't. You shouldn't, Dr. Cork. Affogato is an Italian dessert consisting of vanilla ice cream topped with a shot of espresso coffee. And I'm making Affogato cocktail, created in 2013 by Simon Difford for Jamie Oliver's bars. To the blender, add grappa or vodka, or you can use brandy, doesn't really matter. 1.5 ounce, 45 ml. Coffee liqueur, half an ounce, 15 ml. Cacao liqueur, half an ounce, 15 ml. A shot of espresso, 30 ml. It should be warm or hot. 3 to 4 ice cubes. And vanilla ice cream, 1 scoop. Close the blender and blend it, dedicating this blend to this comment. And pour to the cocktail glass. Chin chin. It's a dessert in a glass. I actually don't think that grappa is that necessary, because grappa doesn't have too much of its own taste. It's unaged alcohol, and also it's a basic alcohol for Italy, and we're in Russia, so we have vodka. So I guess it's a very appropriate substitution. But you can always add brandy. Brandy doesn't hurt this cocktail at all. The Baby Guinness shot. It's a beloved Irish drink. It's thought to have been created in the late 1980s at the Wexy's Dargle pub in Dublin near Rotunda Hospital. Owner Stephen Daly crafted his own coffee liqueur using Irish whiskey as the base, and when new fathers visited to celebrate their newborns with a pint of Guinness, he would serve them a shot of his coffee liqueur topped with Baileys, dubbing it Baby Guinness. The tradition caught on quickly, particularly among hospital staff, especially nurses, who often directed new fathers to the pub for a celebratory drink. I'm gonna be drinking with my friend, because no one should drink Baby Guinnesses alone. And let's add coffee liqueur, about 3 parts to each shot, and layer Irish cream on top, about 1 part, using a bar spoon. Looks like a Guinness, doesn't it? A little bit. Let's call my friend Phoenix. Simon Phoenix. To the babies of the world. It's like B51. These are all the cocktails I wanted to make today. Hit like, subscribe to my Patreon or YouTube membership if you want to become the member of the Nothing Club and get absolutely nothing, but you'll support my channel. All the recipes in text form are on my website, thedrcork.com. Link is down below. Tell me in the comments which coffee cocktails do you prefer, and also what should I make next. Love you all, drink responsibly, and as always, Dosvidos.